Welcome to the second episode of the Seafarer Social Podcast, where I have the absolute pleasure of speaking to none other than Chief Engineer Praneet Mehta. Me and Praneet have a fantastic conversation in this podcast, and I think you're really going to love it. We go through everything from his career while working on board, how he's adapted to working ashore, how he has built 6 academies in India that are training the next generation of seafarers, and finally, how he has grown his extremely popular YouTube channel, Merchant Navy Decoded. You're going to love this one. It's a great conversation. Secondly, I'd like to give a big shout out to the MRS Future Leaders Forum, which is happening on the 24th of April in London. Now, if you are a young individual in the maritime space, this is the event for you. And if you're interested in signing up, there is a link to sign up in the description of this podcast, and there will also be one in the comments below. And finally, I am running the London Marathon this week, and I'm still collecting donations for my fantastic charity, Sailors Society. If you can donate, please use the link in the description and comments below to do so. And if you can't, please share this video and get the word out there. Thank you all for watching, and now let's get into the podcast. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of the Seafarer Social Podcast, and I am delighted to be joined by Chief Engineer Praneet Mehta. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Carl. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you, firstly, for taking the time to speak to me. I know you're a very busy man. And speaking of how busy you are, I know you recently came back from Singapore. Did you have a good time?
Yes, definitely. A lot of learnings.
Fantastic. Was it for business or pleasure?
Always business.
Nice. And speaking of business, um, let's talk a little bit about what projects you're currently working on. I know you have your JMDI Academy, you have your YouTube channel. Tell me a little bit more about what it is you're working on.
So, 2017, 6 years back, while I was still sailing, as a sailor, you get a lot of benefits that you can try whatever you want to try. If you fail, you always have that financial cushion. You can go back to sail, unlike other professions. So, 2017, when I became a chief engineer, and I thought, now what next? So, I wasn't ready to move ashore into some other country because I wanted to stay with my father, who is aging and he wants to stay in the place where he is. So one option was to continue sailing, or the other option was to do something of my own. And that was a time I thought what to do, and I always wanted to be into training. So I said what to start. So I started this GMDI Academy Institute coaching. It's a coaching institute. I started with just 6 students, where the idea was to tell people, go to schools, tuitions, conduct seminars, and tell them the true reality about merchant navy. Because most of the people in India join merchant navy thinking about dollars, but they forget the real hardships that they face on board ship. It's not easy earning those dollars on board ship. There are a lot of sacrifices and compromises that you make in your life. So that was the vision, and the idea was to tell people the reality and see there are always hungry people who want that money and they are ready to sacrifice a lot from their lives. To get those people, train them, make them better persons, and then send them to the best shipping companies which are working in India to train the cadets. So I started with 6 students, 2017. We kept I along with another of my one of my partners who was also a marine engineer, my batchmate from college. We started JMD Academy with 6 students, and today we have around 600 students in a span of 6 years, with only one thing, that is trust. We don't tell lies, we tell them what is the reality, and people trust us with the results that we give. 2019, a lot of students told me, okay, you're doing a great job, but you're only helping those people, those who can pay money to you. Because business is one side, and it is important to run your household chores as well. See, living merchant navy is not easy, and you have to take care of a family as well. So money was important, it is still important, very important. But along with that, what am I doing for the society? So I realized that information is the key, and I think so everybody has got the right, whether rich, poor, very rich, very poor, they have the right to information. So I started making these videos on YouTube channel Merchant Navy Decoded in 2020 end, or I would say 2021 beginning. And then I went back on ship, and then I came back in 2021 May. It's been 3 years. It'll be 3 years. I have not been on ship since then. I am giving every sort of information that I feel is important. Any YouTube video comment coming to me, and trust me, there are hundreds of comments that come each day, and my team is accessing them and telling them that we need to make videos on these things. because these are the pain points of people. I'm making those videos. I'm on Instagram every week now these days. Since I'm very busy, every 2 weeks I do a live, and a lot of people come, around 200 250 students come and they talk to me, and I conduct seminars with them, and a lot of information of Instagram. Then, along with that, today I'm on LinkedIn as well, connecting to thousands of seafarers. So, my vision is to connect the classes which are on LinkedIn, the superintendents, the fleet managers, the technical managers, the ship owners, the ship managers, the classes to the masses, those who are on YouTube and on Instagram. And I'm also running a portal called Merchant Navy Decoded. It's a website where I'm selling online content. So I remember when I hope I'm not talking too much, Carl.
No, please,
But
please.
see, whatever pain points I felt as a sailor, I have tried to cover them because I feel that is the most important thing. I realized I was not very bright when I was in college, never interested too much in studies. When I went on ship, I had a very, very tough time. I did not know who will tell me what to study, from where to study, and trust me, I had a very, very bad time on board ship. Then I realized that if I'm not the only one, there's so many others. So I started creating content, and this is a paid content where uh, paid courses are being made for students. Those who say are going as a marine engineer on board ship, and they want to do course on automation, or they want to do a course on maneuvering or something like that. So up till now there are courses which you have to go and do in training centers, but the challenge is, see, I've done as a seafarer myself, the challenge is when you go on board ship you have forgotten most of the things.
Yeah.
So what next? So that is the time. This is an app developed. These courses stay with you lifelong. You can watch these videos again and again and again, recall them. Then you become a part of a community where you can ask these questions, and there are people who are going to help you solve those problems. So the vision is very clear, to help all the Indian seafarers as of now. If I'm able to do that in another 2 to 3 years to solve their pain points, then maybe the other countries.
And go
That's
global.
it.
Yeah, no, I've had the luxury, Praneet, of being able to go through some of your courses myself, and I must say the value that's provided is just fantastic. I know that some have a paywall, but you also give away, like you said, a lot of great value for free as well. A lot of your courses are also free, so I think it's it is necessary that everyone gets paid, but it's quite clear to see that you are giving back to your fellow Indian seafarer.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you very much. Carl, I am a very strong believer that when you give something for free, you are the product. So I have a very clear vision. I tell people honestly that I am a person who believes that money is very important. I am also a firm believer that if you do things for free, then you are not motivated and they do not carry that value. So now when today I'm building these online courses, I'm getting many good tutors, many good maritime led leaders who are coming up and creating these courses because even they value that they'll be getting something in return, and
Yeah.
they are being made at a very, very low price. You can say around $20, $25, $50 course for a lifetime, $100 course maximum. So these courses, 100 hours content, 50 hours content, which is not available anywhere in the world. And trust me, Carl, these videos are made on board ship as well. So these kind of videos are not available anywhere in the world. So, and accessible to seafarers. That is the reason I had never heard in my whole life that seafarers are paying from their own pocket to learn things. But today, thousands of seafarers in the last 3 years have trusted us, and they have paid from their own pocket
Wow.
to buy this product, and they're learning. And there's so many thank you messages that keep coming, and they keep motivating me that I have to create more, and create a bigger impact in their lives. So I'm doing that. Let's see how successful I become.
No, but that is fantastic because I speak to many, many organizations out there that are giving away courses for free or selling courses, and nine times out of ten, the person that's purchasing them is the shipping company because none of them can find a way of being able to sell to the seafarer directly. It's a very, very tough conversion, but your courses are doing just that. I want to rewind a little bit. You spoke a little bit about how 3 years ago you came back to shore base and you haven't looked back since, and you've developed your products. And you mentioned obviously your family commitments as well. But tell me a little bit more about the what was the motivation behind firstly becoming a seafarer way back, and then secondly the motivation to finally going shore base.
Okay, the first motivation to join shipping was money. I'll be very honest. Merchant Navy was never my preferred choice. I wanted to do engineering. Even that was not my preferred choice. I wanted to join army. I could not join that. Then my father told me, okay, go for engineering. Then I did that. I could not get a very good rank. Getting into IITs in India is damn tough. So then I got into marine engineering by default. And I come from a very mediocre background. Money was always a concern. You go to a restaurant and you look at the prices first, and then you decide what you have to eat.
Yeah.
So that is from where I have started. And I'm still the same guy. I don't own a car, I don't have those things. I want to be as simple as possible till the time I'm not working for money. Right now I'm working for money. So day might come when I'm not working for money, then I'll be looking at the luxury part, not now. But anyways, that time it was just money, but I never realized that earning money is going to be damn tough on board ship. I took it very lightly. But when I started earning money and the times I was spending on ship, I was facing hardships. But the money that I was getting in return, it always kept me motivated. So it was always money, nothing else, buddy. And well, leaving ashore, see, once you have money reasonable, that is the time as a seafarer look at other things. Oh, what kind of social recognition have I got? Oh, I'm missing my family. Till the time I did not have money, I never thought about family. It was always going back to ship, earning more money, going back to
Mm.
ship, earning more money, because money was the requirement, key requirement of the family, mine as well. But the moment sufficient money came into the bank account, that my bank account was not empty, I was having sufficient money. That is the time when I started thinking, what next? What will I do
I
now?
see.
Oh, I'm missing my family. Oh, I'm not finding that recognition right now. And I was one of those people on board ship who was always saying, merchant navy is not good. Merchant navy is not good. What are we doing over here? This is not good at all. So I was one of those seafarers. And it continued for a lot of time. My reason for not joining ship back, why I quit sailing, I won't say quit sailing, because I never, you never know never. So you never know when you'll join back ship. So today I'm
Yes.
doing two ventures. What if they both fail? I don't have any other option, I will go back on ship. So I've kept my all the documents ready even now with my US visa attached. So what if this fails? I have a backup. But anyways, the reason was, when I got married, I had a kid. The kid, he was 1.5 years old when I was going on ship. And the day I was joining, he said Papa for the first time while I was in taxi. So he did not say at all till the time I was at home. While I was going on taxi to the airport to leave, that is the moment he said Papa. And I had tears in my eyes. And then when I went on ship, I was a chief and I realized what next. So that what next, either it has to be a new challenge. So what could have been that new challenge? It was starting something of my own or becoming a technical superintendent, doing a shore job. I thought, okay, I'll give my 100% best shot now. Already I'm 2.5 years in GMD Academy. So it is at certain stage. Let me come out of my comfort zone and give my best shot out here. Then I started Merchant Navy decoding, and God has been kind till that. I've been earning lots of trust of people. And let's see.
Fantastic. No, that's amazing. And the story about your son is just unbelievable. I'm about to become a father for the first time myself as well. And you do realize, mine's not even here yet, but already my mentality is starting to change. You're not thinking about yourself anymore. And that brings me to my next question. You spoke about it a little bit earlier on when you first started as a seaman. It was all about thinking about yourself. You put your family to the side, and it was work, work, work. I got to make this money. I got to crawl up the ranks and become the best seafarer I can be. Is that important? Do you think to become a good seafarer to detach yourself from the outside world and just focus on the job?
Now, this is a very, uh, I cannot answer for everyone. I'll answer for myself. So I hope it solves your query. The thing is, every person is very different. As a seafarer, when you're working on board ship, you're working on ship and you're detached from your family, because even if things are happening on board ship, you can't do much. So either your wife is taking care of your family, sometimes your parents are taking care of things at the back. You are not worried about that you have to go to somebody's wedding, you're not worried about going to somebody's birthday party, because everybody knows this guy cannot come. So when you're working. When you come back ashore, then you're celebrating, enjoying your good time. So your work is not mincing with your other activities around. So you are basically single focus working on board ship, right? But ashore, it's a completely different thing. Today, when I'm ashore, I'm also working. I'm also talking to a lot of people, doing a lot of networking. Then Again, a lot of parties, birthday parties I have to attend. Somebody is not well, I have to go there. So a lot of challenges come out here when you're on a show.
Yeah.
So now what happens is ki now when you are on ship, you're already very focused because you're detached. For becoming a very good seafarer, it is not important that you have to be detached. The best point of, if you want to become a good seafarer, is first thing is you need to take care of the people you're working with, so you have to gel with them. So those 22 people on board ship, they are your family. So rather than going back after 5 o'clock to your cabin and chatting with people, go spend 2 to 3 hours in mess room talking to other people. And this is really really important. Find out a buddy system with whom you can every day 30 minutes sit, have a tea together. Very important. With whom you can discuss, okay, these things are happening at home, yeah, because that is also very important. Third thing is, every day spending at least 1 hour on yourself, on your self development, reading manuals is very important. Because if you want to become a good seafarer, earning respect is the most important thing. And you can only earn respect by becoming good at your work. And for becoming good at your work, you have to spend time to gain knowledge. So these are a few things. If you do, you do not have to detach yourself from anything or anywhere else. You just have to give your best shot and you'll be a good seafarer. Most importantly, you have to become a good leader. Take care of the people, they will take care of the ship will take care of the company will take care of you. This was told to me by one of my mentors in shipping.
Nice. That's a fantastic mindset to have. I really liked how you mentioned how my original question was, do you have to detach yourself from your family shore base? And you made that link between you don't have to, but you have to create a new family on board. That's really interesting. You look
Very
at
important.
your camaraderies as fellow family members, a multicultural family, which is really really interesting. And you spoke a little bit about reading your manuals. Can you tell me a little bit more about how important the role of education is in today's world of seafaring?
Okay. I'll start again. I will only talk about myself, my experiences. So, when I went on my first ship, I was not very serious about studies. I just thought, okay, getting on ship is going to be easy. All my seniors who came to college, they told, okay, when you'll go on ship, you'll learn. Practical is most important and all those things. So, I took them damn seriously. I went on board ship and I had a very, very tough time because theory is as much important as practical. During the initial phase, the experience comes with time. You become a fourth engineer, you become a third engineer, then a second, and the chief engineer. Experience will take its time. It is that knowledge that you gain during your college or every day when you're reading your manuals that takes you one step ahead, a two step ahead, and that experience comes faster because you do something, you just not do work on that machinery, but you learn completely about that machinery because you have overall and you have read the manual completely, and then you make your own small notes. So during those hardships, I met a lot of people, those who guided me well. One of those person was a Batisa electrical officer whose name I do not remember. He told me, make notes. Each day, whatever problem you faced, make notes. From that day till the last day on my ship, I used to, and I'm being damn honest, not boasting something. I used to devote every day 1 hour to reading manuals or making my notes. I have those 6, 8 registers even today ready with me, and I take them every on my every ship. And those have helped me even as a chief engineer. When I face some problem, I go back to those registers because somewhere down the line I had worked on that machinery and had completely made those notes. I go back to them. I go, oh, now I get the idea, and I solve that problem faster. When I solve that problem faster, I earn more respect of my people, that this
Mm,
guy knows his job, and it works. So knowledge is very very important. It helps you earn respect on ship. It helps you earn respect in shipping company. It helps you gain self confidence, because if you have knowledge, people will respect you, and if you make mistakes, people will still respect you because they know you tried. And your whole baggage of last 8 to 2 years of good work, 10 years of good work, that always counts. So for me, knowledge comes is the utmost thing. It is very important, and I learn with the hardship. And that is why this merchant navy decoded platform is created. So people who are ready to learn, this platform is for them. Spend, invest on yourself, and thousands of them are doing today. Invest on yourself. Learn. This platform will not help you over here, but even on board ship, and it will give you those practical insights that are needed.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think one thing I think is really interesting is that this next generation of seafarers coming through, your Gen Z seafarers, um, naturally we've been born into a world where we want quick wins, we want instant gratification for things, and sometimes somebody might purchase a course because they think it's going to be the answer to everything, but not commit themselves to actually finish it. Have you found with your courses and with your academy, speaking and speaking about the importance of education to the next generation is a tough transition compared to before? Are you seeing changes? Are younger people becoming lazier? What's your thoughts on that?
Look, Carl, it's again, who am I to say much? But again, each generation, if I'll talk about my father's generation, they had their viewpoint about my generation. And I will definitely have my viewpoints about the younger generation. And they are never going to be good. They are always going to be judgmental, saying, oh, you guys did this, we guys did that.
Yeah,
But coming
sure.
back today, but still, today, the biggest problem is the phone, the mobile phone. This is one of the biggest problems that we face today. We are sitting, and I'll start with myself. I am not using phones in the last 3 months, since I don't carry my phone anymore. So
Wow.
you talk to me always on WhatsApp, because if you can, you have to preach what you can do it yourselves. And I feel phone is the biggest distracting thing. When I talk about Gen Z, yes, they want instant gratification. And it starts with, during our times, we used to be scolded by our parents, we used to get even thrashed. And if you used to come number one, number two, number three, you used to get certificates, prize, not for everybody. But today things have changed. Even if you're participating, you'll get a certificate. You go to school, oh, it's a fact. Today,
It's
if
true.
a teacher is scolding, the parents are putting a case against them. How dare you scold my son? How dare you do that? It was not happening during our times. Today, the parents are such, oh, take care of my baby, take care of, this is my baby. Well, if you are not going to make him struggle today, what about when he goes and joins a job out there? That time the boss is not going to take care of him. And when the real world comes, the real struggle comes, that is where he's going to be, oh my god, what am I going to do? My mama is not there, my father is not there. See, there is a difference. I'm going to share it with you personally again. uh, Indians today, and I'm not judging, but Indians today are facing a big dilemma. They are, and I am not here to offend anyone, but this is what I am experiencing or I'm facing. They are going towards the Western culture, but half-heartedly. Say, I'll share my view on this. See, in Western culture, what happens is, till the age of 16, oh, they don't scold their child. But when they say that you are grounded for 1 week, that means you are grounded. Second thing, by the age of 16, they leave them. Okay, now go do your core, work in a McDonald's, do whatever you want to do, take care of yourself, earn, become independent. But that's not certainly what's happening in India right now. So, till the age of 16, parents are taking care of the babies. That includes my wife, me as well. So, I'm not here judging anyone. I'm telling you, I'm facing the same dilemma. So, I'm taking care of my baby. Oh, my baby, 16 years old. Now, at the age of 17, I have to now let him go. No, no, no. I will take care of him till the time he becomes 24. He has to do his BTech, I'll take care of him. He has to do this graduation, I'll take care of him. By the time the real world comes, he is in deep trouble. So, coming to the point, Gen Z, when I'm talking about Indians out here, uh, there's a lot of problems. And I'm telling you, it's very honest. I talk to the lot of parents out here. I tell them, I'm taking your son right now for GMD Academy, but if I could have got a earthen furnace which had a temperature of 55 to 60 degrees centigrade temperature, I would have kept that guy for 6 hours out there, let him come and then decide whether he wants to join merchant navy or not. If he is able to pass that for next 8 hours, and then he wants to join merchant navy, fine. Otherwise, I won't take him into my academy. And trust me, I'm talking it so much right now that I might develop such kind of furnace one day. Yes. Because these are the kind of guys, they are going to go on board ship, and they think about money but not about the hardships. And for
Yeah,
me, it is becoming difficult. We tell them about everything, about the oil soaked boiler suits, about the hardships, everything. But still, whatever we tell, only dollars are counting, nothing else. So
sure.
till the time they really face that hardships, they won't recognize. The earlier the better, and that is where our challenge lies.
Yeah, no, I completely can see that. You're right. A lot of seafarers I speak to nowadays, it's always, and I think there's nothing wrong with doing a job like this for the money, but just thinking that it's going to be an easy win is just completely far from the truth. It's the wrong career for easy wins, that's for sure. One thing I will say though, you mentioned one of the worst things with Gen Z nowadays is the mobile phone, and I think you're completely right. There's so many bad things that the mobile phone has brought. Short attention spans is probably the biggest. But one thing I think is really interesting is the mobile phones have brought the power of social media and social media influence, which is something that you have created. I'm not sure what the figures are. I think last time I checked, Merchant Navy Decoded was about 180,000 subscribers on YouTube. Am I right?
Around it's 173,000 right now.
173,000. Okay, yeah, and it was one of the fastest growing Seafarer YouTube channels I'd seen, and that's what first drew my attention to yourself. And the content was fantastic. You've also one of the only Seafarer influencers to have created a follower basis on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So you're across both LinkedIn, Meta, and YouTube, which is just really powerful. So you have so many different touch points of so many different professionals, whether it's the young cadets, whether it's the professional seafarer, or whether it's the decision makers on shore. Talk to me a little bit about social media and how powerful you think social media will be within the seafaring space, especially for issues like recruitment and recruitment retention.
To be very honest, Carl, I am damn hopeful. I'll share in the from the business point of view. I'll share it with you with stats that I've got, and I'll tell you how. So till 2017, JMD Academy was growing at a very steady pace. So the maximum that we had was 100 cadets, 100 students in a year. Since the time I have become very vocal on social media, it has just become 6x. The growth has become 6 times. Why? Because of social media. So I could reach out to every household in India. Today, students, my coaching institute is in Dehradun, which is near Delhi. But students are coming from 2,000 kilometers away from Kerala over here. So that is the impact of social media today. So this is my business that I'm talking about. Now, talking about shipping companies. So recruitment is such that mobile today everyone has got. Today everyone has got this mobile. So through this YouTube channel that I have got, which has got around 1,73,000 subscribers today, and trust me, this is just the number. But the people watching these videos are so many more. Carl, even you would realize that how many YouTube videos you watch in a day, but how many channels have you subscribed?
Yeah.
So I am getting more than 2 million views in a month time, more than 50,000 hours of content being watched in 28 days period on my YouTube stats. So what I'm saying is people are watching. I'm going to Singapore, people know me because they have watched my content. So I'm going to, and I never, I'm going to Kolkata meeting these big shipping people, and they watch my content on YouTube. So I'm seeing not just the people who want to join merchant with the normal seafarers, but ship agents, ship brokers, ship managers, ship charterers, big people in the industry. They're also watching these videos. So coming back to the point, these two, three, I'm talking about Indian Disopera right now. 3 lakh Indian seafarers are there. Each and everybody has got a mobile. Out of them, 80% would know about Merchant Navy Decoded. Now, say there is a shipping company out there and it's doing a fabulous job. But they do not have a model to reach out to these seafarers that this is what we are doing. This is the best thing that we have done. Now, suppose through this YouTube channel of mine, I am able to reach out to these thousands of seafarers, tell them that this is what this company has done. Now, what happens is tomorrow this guy knows that this is another company that Praneet Mehta sir, whom we can trust, he has told about this company. And tomorrow he's looking at recruitment. Okay, which company should I apply for? And he sees 5 companies and see this company's name as well. Oh, I need to apply to this company. And that is where the recruitment process will become easy. Why? One way is for companies, they reach out to people, okay, join us. But if you don't, if a seafarer like me hasn't heard about that shipping company, there are very less chances that I would love to join that company. Am I right, Carl?
Yeah, sure.
But if I've heard about that company, my chances become big. And it is not just that. For every shipping company, if you're doing a good job, it is your right to tell to seafarers as well that this is what we are doing. You're getting good ships. We are working on dual fuel. We have done this for people out here. You have to reach out to people and cry loud and tell them with amplified voice. These are the good things that we are doing. And you can always be vocal about the bad things that are happening with you as well. There's no harm with that. But you have to tell out, like Peter Lynch said, work hard, but market yourself 10 times harder. It is
Yeah.
very important.
I
So,
totally agree. No, I totally agree. It's so true. I think that the power of social media has still not been fully understood by this industry yet. I think
not at all.
there's so much that can be unlocked if they really start, building social media strategies, working with influencers like yourself, developing campaigns that really show the good side and the bad side of seafaring. That's how you bring people's interests. They have to accept it for what it is. Um, I'm really interested in knowing a little bit more about Indian seafarers because
Okay.
this is the biggest population in the world. 1 billion, however many people are in India. It's probably the largest labor market for seafarers. And I've had the honor of speaking to many Indian seafarers. They have a very, very strong understanding of why they're in this career and what they're doing. And their families have sacrificed so much to take them through education, etc., and finally getting on board ship. What's your future vision for the Indian seafarer as time goes on and the economy gets stronger and stronger?
Look, Carl, to be very honest, it's a country of 1.4 billion people. And you can't even imagine that only 30,000 people from a country of 1.4 billion people after class 12th want to join merchant navy. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Just 30,000 people. I'm not saying 300,000 people, just 30,000 people. So you imagine that I go to so many schools and conduct seminars, I go to colleges, I talk about merchant navy, but there is so much scope that hardly people know about merchant navy out here. There are so many myths attached. Like one is you have to say you have to be on ship for 6 months and then you have to be on land for 6 months. They do not realize that it might be for 10 to 12 years. You can still work in shipping beyond shipping, right? You can become a captain chief and then go ashore, and you have so many opportunities out there. You can go for chartering, shipbroking. There's so much. People do not know anything. The 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 future of shipping merchant navy lies in tier 3 and tier 4 cities in our country, in India today. There's so many hungry people out there, those who want to earn money, those who want to make it big, those who are ready to struggle. We have to identify those. We have to go to those places. We have to conduct seminars. We have to inform them good things and bad things about merchant navy. And that is where the real potential is. I'll tell you how. Today only 30,000 people are applying for merchant navy, and out of them 12,000 get selected.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying increase the number of seats. I'm saying let it decrease, but let people know about it and let at least 3 lakh people apply. When out of those 3 lakh people you select only 10,000, you get better quality seafarers. Those seafarers, those who can really make a bigger difference, those who can make a real big impact, and those who really wanted to join merchant navy for the right reasons. So we have to reach out to every nook and corner of our country, tier 3, tier 4 cities, those schools, Kendriya Vidyalayas, and where we can tell them this is merchant navy. Look at it. So
Yeah.
there is a huge scope of merchant navy out here, and I'm thinking I'm at the right place at the right time. Whether with social media, whether with GMD Academy, whether with all other things that I'm going to start, and I am not going to do anything apart from merchant navy because merchant navy runs in my veins.
Yeah. Well, and you're very good at it, so don't move away from it because, like I
No,
said,
not at all.
you're very, very humble. I must say that's one of the things I've realized about you is you start off many of your sentences and your content by saying, I by no means feel like I'm in the right position to say this, but you're very humble. I think that you should accept your status for what much higher than what you think it is.
Uh,
You are a very respected character within the seafaring space, both through the business side, both through the labor market side. It's very impressive to see what you've done. I must ask you another question though. I want to know your thoughts on autonomous shipping. This is something that people are talking about more and more. Um, Innovation is becoming rapid when it comes to the shipping industry. What's your thoughts on autonomous shipping? How this is going to affect the future seafarer and the increased regulatory demands?
Okay, so once again, Carl, see, I'm. It's if you call me humble guy, I'm happy. But most important is I stay like this for the another 10 years, no matter whatever success I achieve. That is
Good.
going to be the most crucial thing. First thing, but thanks for the compliment. Second thing is talking about autonomous ships. To be very honest, again, and I'm being dead damn honest, I do not have any personal views of mine. But I have done interviews with two people from the industry. One was Martin Kraft, and he's a more very respectable person. He's working with FedNav and a very respectable person in the industry. And another was Uttam Kumar sir. He's working again as a director with a marine tech company. So I have had a lot of chats with them. And see, the biggest question is psychological issue. So both of them do not agree that it is going to happen soon. First thing, why cars autonomous was the easiest thing to happen. It has happened. But even today, if somebody asks me, okay, I have got the money, I buy a Tesla. Will I make it to go from this place to sit, keeping my life at stake? From I'm sitting like this and with my eyes closed. Will I allowed to go? No. I will always have that psychological fear. What if this sensor goes
Yeah,
wrong?
sure, sure.
So the first thing is this psychological issue is there. If it is not happening over here, it will take loads of time to happen on shipping. This is my view. Now, again, I might be wrong because if 10 years, 20 years back, somebody would have thought 50 years back that there will be unmanned ships happening. So they were completely wrong. It happened. So if I would say that autonomous ships would not happen, I would certainly be wrong. Who Nobody has seen the future, nobody has predicted it. It might happen someday. But my view about it is very simple. As seafarers, you learn to adapt. As seafarers, you are not thinking, okay, this challenge will come, what will I do? The best thing about being a seafarer, which I have learned, is that you learn to adapt with whatever challenge comes your face. You cannot look for options because you're 22 people on board, so you have to deal with it. Similarly, on land, even that seafaring attitude stays with me. If my one of the teachers is not there, I go and teach the students. I don't wait, okay, what will I do now? If a
Mm.
marketing guy is not there and he's distributing pamphlets, I will go and distribute pamphlets myself outside the school. I don't have any qualms about that. So similarly, coming to this thing, what I want to say is, what if uh, a guy, IT guy, takes your job? No worries with that. You will have something else coming. You should have the right attitude to learn, adapt, and grow with time. If you'll keep thinking what will happen to me, you will never grow, you will never adapt. So you are the future of merchant navy. Merchant navy is not your future. Simple. Believe in yourself. Rest everything will fall into place. Jai Mata Di.
You are the future of merchant navy. Merchant navy is not your future. Wow, I really like that. That's a brilliant. That's brilliant.
Even I'm liking it right now because it just came with the flow. I never planned it.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. I might even steal it.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. But even I
Um,
like the tagline right now.
it's fantastic. No, tell me a little bit. Do you, let's talk about Merchant Navy Decoded, the YouTube channel, a little bit more. Do you have any success stories? Has anybody ever shared any stories based off the learnings they've had from Merchant Navy Decoded, how they've been affected by your work and the success that's come off the back of that?
Lots and lots of them. And see, it is very important from the marketing point of view as well. See, most of us work on a herd mentality. Suppose you are standing in a middle of the road and you see two shops. Both of them are for sweets. Say the brand name is also the same. But one shop has got a lot of people standing and the other shop is empty. Where will you go, Carl?
Well, if the shop's empty, I'm going to the other one.
The other one. The one which is empty or the one which has got a lot of people standing there to buy in queue even.
I'm going to the one that's empty. Sorry. Yes.
Okay, so Carl, maybe you're a guy who is very much time conscious. But normally, what happens is people go with the herd mentality. They see, okay, all the people are standing there. This is what my assumption is. Like I would do the same. Maybe this guy does not have the right quality of sweets out here. I should go to that one. So this
I
is
see
my
what you're
take,
saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. For me,
right?
I would like to cut the times because I might be in a hurry. And
Hurry. But
but you're
suppose
right.
if you're not in a hurry,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you really want to enjoy a meal and you want to say you're going with your fiance or your girlfriend or your wife, and you know there are two restaurants with the same brand name, but one has got a lot of people, they're coming, hustling, bustling, happening, and you're in a city which you do not know, another is empty
Yeah, you're going to the one with many people
with
because
the
it means
hustling, bustling.
food's good.
So there's a herd mentality. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of stories being posted on YouTube channel. Why? So that other people can realize this is something, because it takes time for building trust. Today, now when we have got these so many success stories out there, now people are building this trust. They are buying these packages, these contents, they are watching them, then sharing their stories, and then we tell them to put it in video form, and we do those videos in Jai Mataji, and things are just going great.
Fantastic. No, it's great to know that you're using the success stories to attract people to come to Merchant Navy Decoded and take on your courses. And you're right; it makes complete sense. If people can see there's a particular area where everyone's gaining mass traction, why would they not go there? Sometimes people will go for the option if they're in a hurry. You're right, but 9 times out of 10, if they're making an investment, something to do with their education, they're going to go where everybody's making noise. Um, Tell me a little bit more about your time while you were on board ship. Is there? I find this fascinating. You know, one of the reasons why I got into the shipping industry was because when I'd speak to seafarers, they told me about these just unbelievable stories, and I always wondered why don't the wider public know about this? This is just this is a Netflix documentary in itself. Can you tell me about some of the high experiences, the best stories you had, and some of the low times while working on board?
I'll start with the lows first, because then coming to the high would be better. So lows were always like, uh, how to start. I will always blame myself, nobody else. So when you're working on ship, you're working with 22 people. A chief engineer, second year, are always in pressure. So if they find a guy who's a young fourth engineer or a junior engineer who does not know his job, then they are in deep problem, because today the pressure is immense. If you do not know your job, you are a liability on board ship, you are not an asset. And most of the times, people do not have time today even to train those people. They believe that it's so tedious today. On board ship, you have a chief engineer, a second engineer, a third engineer, maybe a junior engineer, two oilers, and a fitter who are taking care of the engine room, taking bunkering, and all those stuffs. It is not easy.
Yeah,
So every day is a new day on board ship with a lot of challenges coming up. So the lows were always there when people used to smirk at me, they used to smile at me and say, Arey, yaar, he does not know anything. When you feel that you're not respected amongst your team members, people think that you're a liability, you're just worth mopping floors and sweeping floors. That's it. So when you're not respected, I think respect comes first for me. Money comes later. I would say that, and it has always been that way. So when you are not respected, you hate. So those lowest points were always because of me, because I did not have knowledge. I was not respected, and I am to be blamed for that. Those were the low points. The high points of my shipping career were when I was respected on board ship for
yeah,
the problems that I solved. Always. Matlab, immensely happy when suddenly you find you're a chief and second account, this something this big has happened, what to do? And you say, oh, don't worry, I will take care of it. And you solve that problem, and then you see that your people who are working below you or you're working with you, they see you with confidence. Hey, this guy is there, he's going to take care of us. And there's nothing bigger pleasure than that. Never. No money, no amount of movies, nothing can buy that pleasure, nothing. So that adrenaline rush of respect, it stays with you. So for me, those highs have been those troubles that I've solved, the troubleshootings that I've done, where those mail from the companies have come, company has come that this guy has done a good job. So those have been the high points. I won't talk about the times that I have gone on from ship to port and visited things. No, I won't talk about that. I won't talk about this time about the money that I received, that it was important. But when I would talk about the highs, I would always talk about the respect that I got when I solved those problems.
fantastic. And one of the rising stars in the social media space from India as well, who um, is the epitome of just what you've described, is Captain Sam, right? Captain Sam, I know you spoke to him recently. You had a viral Instagram clip that went crazy. When I saw it, I thought it was absolutely hilarious. In the clip, for those who haven't seen it, it goes something a bit like this. Captain Sam said to Praneet, I never shout while I'm on board. And Praneet says, "Wow, your crew must love you." And then he goes, "The problem comes when I lower my voice." and I and, and I thought he
I
was
never
just
thought that it would go
fantastic.
viral.
But when I spoke to Cap, when sorry, when I've listened to some of Captain's Sam's content, he speaks just about that. Respect is the most important aspect. And I've actually spoken to people that have been part of Captain Sam's crew, and they've told me firsthand that this man really, really does care about education. He is someone that is very patient. He will take the time to speak to cadets and show them, how to do things map wise, etc. And he really cares. And I think he's a fantastic role model for those on the social media space. But again, it just reminded me of what you said regarding education.
Thank you, Carl.
I want to ask you one last question before we wrap up. Um, and that is, what advice do you have to aspiring seafarers out there, next generation, but also those who may have maybe looking to change their career? Maybe later in life they decided that this is something they wish to explore. What advice would you give to aspiring seafarers around the world?
Be hungry. Be hungry to learn, be hungry to grow, be hungry to change with time, be hungry to always adapt, be hungry to become a good leader, be hungry to become a good father, a good son, a good husband. It's not easy, but be hungry. And I think so everything else will fall into place.
Fantastic. Thank you, Praneet. Thank you for taking the time to speak to me today. Thank you for working with me. I know we've worked on a project before, and I really hope we can do many more in the future. As I said, I think you're a fantastic asset for the seafaring space, not just
Thank
for Indian seafarers, but globally. And I wish you all the success with GMDI Academy, with your courses, with your YouTube channel. And I hope that one day your message can go global. I think people will benefit from your learnings around the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.